You're listening to the How to Talk to Girls podcast with your dating coach, Trip, from tripadvice.com. Do you struggle with getting girls to like you? You'll learn step by step how to talk to girls to create deep connections, whether it be for one night of wild fun, a 1-week fling.
Are you currently involved in a sexual relationship?
Or for a lifelong partner.
Full of long-lasting pleasure.
Here's your host, Trip.
Hey, welcome to the How to Talk to Girls podcast. This is Trip from tripadvice.com, your host. And today we are going to be talking about something interesting. Haven't brought up this topic before. Yes, we're talking about what if other guys end up hitting on your lady. We don't like that, do we? No, we're not a fan of that one bit. Now, before I get into that, as always, this episode is sponsored by Spartagen XT, which is the all-natural supplement created of herbs and vitamins that help boost your libido and boost your testosterone. So if you have trouble getting erections, if you have trouble finishing too fast in the bedroom, if you have any trouble at all having the confidence to be able to perform in the bedroom with girls sexually, then this is the over-the-counter supplement that you gotta check out. It doesn't need a prescription at all because it's just vitamins and herbs that are FDA approved. So go ahead and check that out at SpartanLibido.com. Again, SpartanLibido.com. And again, there is no GMO in this, no high fructose corn syrup, no fillers, no weird stuff. All natural, good stuff for you. So go check that out at SpartanLibido.com. And we're going to get into the episode today in just a second, but I also want to let you know that if you have a question, because today we actually have a question through an email. So if you have a question and you want to email me, just do it. Trip at tripadvice.com. Again, that's trip with 2 P's, trip at tripadvice.com. I will answer your question today from a guy named Derek, who is going to be asking a pretty thorough question here. He's got an interesting story, maybe one that you can relate to, something maybe that's happened to you in the past in terms of a girl that you've been dating, maybe getting hit on by other guys, maybe she is not as interested in you as you think she is. I picked this question out because it's an all too common story that I hear from students and also stories that I've had in the past, and we'll get into that in just a second. You'll see what I'm talking about here. But again, if you have a question that you want to answer like this guy Derek, go ahead and email me, trip at tripadvice.com. You can also call in 323-432-0025. We'll answer your question here on the podcast. All right, let's get into it. Today's question comes from Derek. Derek, he says, "Hey Trip, my name is Derek, and I'm in one hell of a situation. I started talking to one of my coworkers, and we slowly started to become interested in one another. At first, I didn't realize that she liked me, but it soon became clear that she did. We became more close, and we hung out more frequently. In a week or so, we kissed, and I stayed the night as a cuddle buddy. The next 2 weeks, we went out, and we had a good time. We had sex 3 times, and she blew me 3 times. I returned the favor for her. One night, we talked, and she told me that she didn't know what she wants. ... I find out that she had just been hurt by some recent fuck buddy that she liked. That night she completely ignored me and flirted with another guy. I got so pissed, I left and went back to my car. By the way, my car was at her house. I caught her red-handed going into her house with another dude. I was livid. Apparently she broke down and realized what she did, and her friend picked her up. She cried all night. It could have been the fact that she didn't know if she was ready for a relationship, or the fact that her fuck buddy didn't care about her and just wanted some pussy. The next day we talked about it, face to face. I expressed my feelings to her. I explained to her that I was upset because I cared for her and wanted to pursue her. She told me that some days she wants to be with me and others she doesn't know. She apologized for what happened and said that she doesn't know what she wants. I apologized for treating her the way I did and told her I wanted to take her out on dates. We decided that we would slow things down, pretty much start on square one. She promised me to my face that she wouldn't talk to the other guy again and insisted that we go on dates. I forgave her, and now I feel like she's avoiding me. She bailed on a couple of things and treats me differently. She's trying to friend zone me. I'm fucking pissed, and this shit isn't cool. I'm not some meat puppet that she can use whenever she wants. It's awkward, and I don't want to seem desperate. I know she is still somewhat interested. I don't know what to do. I feel like if I do my own thing, the 8 guys trying to bang her will get to her before I do. If I try too hard, I'll turn her off. Anyways, what I need is a way to win her back. I need to get her attention. I need a spark. If you can help, that would be awesome. You don't have to make a video or a podcast. Too bad. Too late, buddy. You can just write me back. I really like this girl. I'm not going to let her slip away. I refuse to let that happen. Thank you for your time, Derek. Wow, Derek. Okay, I don't even know where to begin. There is so much here. First of all, thank you for writing in. I appreciate you basically telling us your story with great detail so we can understand what's going on, and it helps me answer your question. And Derek, bravo to you. Brave soul of being able to write in and try to get this question answered. So I'll say that to begin, but let's go into this. So I'm looking at this question here, and there's a lot of different stuff here that we can go off of, that we can learn from. Mainly, the first thing I'm seeing here that is catching my attention is this neediness. Okay, I talk about this a lot on the podcast, how neediness is very unattractive. Neediness is unattractive. Do we know why yet the neediness is unattractive? Do we know why? Does anyone know? Anyone at all? Anyone at all? Well, I'm sitting here alone recording this podcast, so I'll just tell you. Okay, the reason why neediness is unattractive is because it's not a masculine trait to need. That means that you don't have your shit together. Okay, that means that you are relying on other people. That means that you lack control. You don't control your emotions. I mean, this is just one of the more unattractive traits because it's showing that you are really desperate, and girls don't want guys who are desperate. They just don't. Girls want guys who, can give them a little bit of a chase. They don't want it to be so easy, right? But either way, even if you guys are in a relationship, you don't want to be needy because it's just weak. It's really a weak trait. So I'm seeing you here. You're even writing here, I need to get her attention. I need a spark, right? You're desperate right here, okay? Now I know that you want this girl. I know how hard this is because you're at this point where she is at the tip of your fingers and you really like her and you've already had sex with her and you've experienced some great times with her and you're thinking, ooh, God, I want more of these with this one girl, right? The problem is you're not putting this into perspective here. You're just thinking about you. You're just thinking about what you want. Of course, I know you're thinking, well, I can, be a great person for this girl and she can like me and it's going to be great. But let me challenge you. Why would she want to be with you? Because you're exerting a lot of neediness right now. And I hate to give you tough love here, but I need to knock you down a little bit to build you up. Why would she want to be with a guy like you? Because why? Because you're better than all the other guys? Maybe the other guys are more suitable for her than you. And of course, we don't think that because we're sitting here thinking that we are the ones that should be with that girl. Now, of course, that's an interesting perspective. It's like you're probably thinking, what am I, taking her side? Well, think about it. What reason does she have to be with you? I don't know that reason. And maybe there's a great reason. I hope there is. But you got to think about that. Why you? Why you? Okay? That's something to just think about. Are you a guy of value? What do you have that the other guys don't? And if you can't answer that question, well, then this is not only going to be trouble for this girl, this is going to be trouble ahead with a lot of other girls. So that's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about what makes you a better man, okay? And then be that better man. That's what's going to help you in the long run, is being that better guy, okay? So that's something to start off thinking about. Now let's move on here, okay? Let's move on to this part where she said, she apologized. I'm going to throw this out there and take a wild guess, Derek. A wild guess. And even if you didn't, this is still a lesson for all the other guys out there listening. Take a wild guess that you made her feel really bad for what she did. Really bad. Probably made her even, Well, I don't even have to guess here. You even said that she cried, but you probably made her cry. Probably made her feel bad. But let me tell you something. She doesn't owe you anything. You don't own her. You're acting like you own her. We don't own people, okay? You don't own her. She doesn't own you. So the fact that she went with other guys, I could see how that could be kind of a dick move. I understand that she's, with other guys, and you're like, well, I thought we had something. But did you guys have that talk? I mean, really, you guys, seemed like you guys were a fuck buddy. You guys were not in any relationship. So you don't own her. You don't own her vagina. She can go out and do whatever she wants. And now she feels really guilty for what she did. And whether she feels guilty on her own, or maybe you made her feel guilty, either way she feels guilty. And now she's associated guilt with you, right? You said you guys talked about it face to face. You expressed your feelings to her. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, Derek. Again, more tough love. This is what you said. You said, she told me some days she wants to be with me and others she doesn't know. Now, here's where I'm going to build you up, okay? Why the fuck do you want to be with a girl who sometimes wants to be with you and sometimes doesn't? And I know that there's other guys listening right now who are in a similar situation of a girl that's kind of into them, but they're 1 foot in the friend zone, 1 foot out of the friend zone. This is not a girl that you want to try to attract. Let me tell you something, okay? What you want to do is you want to be able to come from a place with a girl where it starts off strong. You never want to get into a situation where you're in the friend zone. Yeah, you can work your way out. Yeah, it's possible. Let me tell you, with this girl, the only way that it's going to be possible for you to exit the friend zone is to stop contacting her and letting her know that, hey, listen, that's fine if you don't want to hang out. I probably won't be here again if you want to try, but for now, I'm going to take a hike. Good luck with all these guys. So basically, it's that old saying, not that you love her, but the old saying that, if you love them and you let them go, if they come back, it's true love. And, if you let them go and they don't come back, it wasn't meant to be, right? So with that old verbiage here, basically what I'm trying to tell you is you got to let this girl go. You got to let her go. And I know you're probably going to, you're probably not going to take my advice. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. But I get that this is not something you want to hear, but I'm telling you that every time that you try to contact her or get together with her and she's not interested, you're pushing yourself more and more away. So you got to disappear a little bit. And not only do I want you to disappear, but I actually want you to leave altogether, not be with this girl anymore, right? Why do you want to be with a girl that's just halfway interested in you? She obviously, I don't know how old you are, Derek. You're probably young. She wants to experience other guys. It's a little selfish of you or anyone else to just want to hold her down unless you guys have already talked about being in a relationship, right? So yeah, she apologized, all that good stuff, but at the end of the day, she's sitting here promising you. You wrote here, she promised me face to face that she wouldn't talk to the other guy again. It's like you were trying to control her here, right? And then you insist, and then she insisted, or you insisted, someone insisted that you guys go on dates, right? And after you forgave her, you're writing here now, you feel like she's avoiding me. You're probably right. She probably is. Girls who like you are not bailing on you, right? I know you're upset, and I know this hurts. And I'm sorry to say you've already come off desperate. What I want you to do is I want you to take this as an amazing learning lesson, and I want you to move on. There's no magic words I can tell you to say to this girl that's going to get her back. What I do know is that she doesn't want to be with a guy that's trying to hold her down, and she might not be ready for a relationship. That's the reality of it. I don't think this girl is ready for a relationship. I don't think she's ready at all to be, settling down with somebody. And you're saying here, I feel like if I do my own thing, the other 8 guys are going to try to bang her. It's nothing to do with you at this point. She's going to do what she wants to do. Do you understand? You can't control her. She's going to do what she wants to do. The only thing you can do is control yourself and be able to be the most attractive person you can be, but you're not being that person right now because you're coming from a needy place. You're coming from a very needy place. Okay? So I'm at a loss here. I don't know what to tell you to win her back. The best thing I can tell you to do is to move on and to let this one go and to just let her do what she wants to do, and she might come back to you. She might realize that you are the awesome guy. And that's the thing, too. If you are the awesome guy, she will come back. And if she doesn't come back, that doesn't mean, oh, you suck, you're a terrible person, you're unattractive, no girls are going to like you. No. That just means that you need to do a little bit of work. And at the end of the day, this girl wasn't for you, right? This just wasn't the girl that was going to work out for you. And that's okay, because it's not going to work out with every single girl that you come across. Okay, so that's the biggest thing here. I want you to take this as a learning lesson and move on as much as you can. So this is my big lesson for you on today's episode. Not just for Derek, but for you who's listening. If there are other guys that are hitting on your girl, then you know what? May the best man win. And if you don't, quote unquote, win, well, there's a couple of reasons for that. Like I said before, you're not being the most attractive self that you could be. So you have a little bit of work to do. Maybe it's on what we said earlier about your neediness. Maybe it's about the way you communicate with her, the way that you're coming off, your masculine traits, which I've talked about a lot in the podcast. Don't need to go into that on today's episode. But yeah, maybe you're not the best man for her. And at the end of the day, if you don't win, maybe the connection between you and her just is not as strong as the connection she might have for someone else. Can you blame her? It's the same thing for you. You're going to meet a lot of different girls in your life. I don't care how old you are watching or listening to this podcast. I don't care if you're 18. I don't care if you're 45 or 50. You're going to meet a lot more girls, especially as you listen to this podcast, as you grow, as you take this journey with us. You're going to be turning yourself into an amazing guy who's going to meet a lot of amazing girls. Some you're going to have connections with and some you won't. I mean, think about it this way. You're going to be that guy who's going to be taking the girl away from another guy sometime in your life. She's going to be picking you over another guy because she had a better connection with you. She will. You might not even know that it's happening, but it will be happening, and it will happen. Okay? And, how could you blame her? You're an awesome guy. You guys had that connection, that unspoken connection. That's just going to happen. And, sometimes that's just the way it's going to go. So if you want to know the best way to be able to fend off the guys who are hitting on your girl, well, it's not about, being an amog, as the pickup artists speak. It's not about saying the right line that's going to make her like you over the other guy. It's none of that bullshit. What it's going to be is you being the best version of you possible. Listening to these podcasts, watching the videos, and taking the advice and putting it into practice over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? That's what it's going to take for you to win. That's the only way. That is not only the only way, but that's the most sustainable way. That's the way that you're going to be doing it and then be winning consistently. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. I know that it could be a little tough at this point because maybe you're not there yet, but you soon will be. Okay? So again, what if other guys are trying to get with your girl? Well, then you know what? Let it happen. Yeah. How about that? Let it happen. Let other guys be with your girl. Because if you're the man, she'll come back to you. And you being so chill and so cool about it and, not being so focused on being the guy who's going to protect her and control her, well, then that's going to be attractive in itself. Why is this guy so chill? Why is this guy so cool? What is it about him? She's going to like that. That overprotectiveness is needy. You got to come from a strong place and say, hey, if you don't want me, well, then I don't want you. I don't need you. I want you, but I don't need you. That's what you got to be thinking. I want you. I desire you. I want to have you right now, but I don't need you. So I want you to think about that. Think about that this week. Hope you learned something from today's podcast episode. This was a very important one and definitely important for your mental strength. Okay? So if you have a question like this, like Derek had, go ahead and write me, trip@tripadvice.com. Put in the subject line podcast question or call in 323-432-0025. Talk to you on the next one.
Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and write a review. Over 18 and want a question answered on the podcast? Email all your questions to trip@tripadvice.com.